Zoran can't make your wishes come true. You're thinking of Zoltar. Democrats must recognize that Zoran Mandani is the future of the party. Unfortunately, it's the Republican Party. Get it? And if you missed his victory speech in last week's mayoral election in New York, don't worry. You'll see it in every attack ad for the next 2 years.
Bill Maher cuts through the political fog again with that blunt comedic realism that makes both extremes tense up. In this video, we break down why his latest dismantling of woke progressive illusions and figures like Zoran Mandani lands harder than any polished slogan their movement has tried to push.
Gen Z thinks socialism's wired and capitalism's tired and billionaires are what's for dinner. And who can blame them? If you're 30 and still sharing a bathroom with roommates, capitalism isn't working for you. People will reject any economic system where there's strange hair on the soap. It turned one of Latin America's richest countries into one of its poorest. Low wages, high inflation, shortages, outages, 8 million people fleeing. If you think New York can somehow reinvent this wheel, you're in for a rude awakening. Zoran can't make your wishes come true. You're thinking of Zoltar.
Zoran can't grant wishes any more than democratic socialism can. Both look great as glossy profiles until you realize those dream promises come with a sketchy return address. Politicians who sell utopia at rallies make catchy headlines but disastrous lease agreements. And if Mandani's victory speech already plays like an attack ad, voters probably saw the fine print and moved on. The whole woke romance pitch falls apart fast under the fluorescent reality of city budgets where lofty ideals crash into potholes, payroll, and basic arithmetic.
Democrats must recognize that Zoran Mandani is the future of the party. Unfortunately, it's the Republican Party. Get it? And if you missed his victory speech in last week's mayoral election in New York, don't worry. You'll see it in every attack ad for the next 2 years. Mandani seems like a nice guy, and I congratulate him on an extraordinary political achievement. But before the whole left side of the country catches socialism fever, let's listen to the other big winner in last Tuesday's election, Virginia Governor-elect Abigail Spanberger, who, before the 24 election, said things like, if the party didn't shift to the center, we will get f***ing torn apart. And we need to never use the word socialist or socialism ever again.
Zoran Mandani being marketed as the party's future while delivering GOP-ready soundbites is Democrats showcasing their own weak spots and pretending to be shocked when Republicans use them. When your victory speech reads like a late-night manifesto, you're handing the other side 2 years of ad material wrapped like a present. This kind of dramatic radicalism doesn't energize swing districts. It hands them over. And Maher's point stands: moderates win in Trump districts because they speak to persuadable voters, not just the choir. That's the only strategy that actually wins elections.
At least the party has a clear choice here, very clear. One wing is saying don't ever use the word socialist again, and one is saying,
I am a democratic socialist!
Clear, huh? So how do we decide who's right? Well, it turns out we don't really have to flip a coin. We have the evidence. In 2024, 13 Democrats won in districts Trump also won, all moderates. This isn't rocket science. All the left-leaning think tanks have done autopsies on 2024, and they all came up with the same message: move to the center.
Maher's point is straightforward. Those 13 Democrats didn't win Trump districts through magic. They won through moderation, not ideological cosplay. Their victories came from grounded centrism, not purity tests or performative wokeness. No matter how loud the fringe gets, until candidates address real frustrations instead of preaching theory, while voters deal with cold showers and mystery hairs on the soap, the center will keep walking.
If you're 30 and still sharing a bathroom with roommates, capitalism isn't working for you. People will reject any economic system where there's strange hair on the soap.
Capitalism has flaws, sure, but it usually delivers the private bathrooms and basic dignity people actually want. Unlike ideologies that still leave a mystery hair on your bar of Dove, when daily life gets rough, voters don't cling to abstractions. They choose systems that consistently offer clean towels, personal space, and predictable results, which is exactly why Poland's market reform thrived while Venezuela's 21st century socialism collapsed. And if any system wants loyalty, it should start by making sure no one has to share shampoo with a roommate.
In 1990, Venezuela was wealthier than Poland. But then Poland, finally free of Soviet-style economics, went all in on capitalism. And now their economy is as big as Japan. And people there have high wages, low inflation, cars, vacations, homes. Meanwhile, Venezuela traded capitalism for Hugo Chavez's socialism for the 21st century, which turned out to be like socialism in the last century, or any century, a f***ing mess.
Poland and Venezuela make the contrast painfully obvious. Strong institutions, open markets, and rule of law produce stability, while romanticized state control eventually hollows everything out. Socialism for the 21st century isn't a shortcut to prosperity. It's a glossy pitch that cracks the moment real-world logistics show up, like an over-edited dating profile. And when single-payer experiments fall apart long before scaling to 340 million people, voters don't remember the poetry. They remember the wait times, the rationing, and why reading the fine print before swiping right is essential.
Democratic socialism is like a dating profile. Things look great until you meet up in the real world. For example, Bernie Sanders, his big thing was always bringing single-payer health care to our country of 340 million. But when liberal, tie-dyed Vermont tried to do it for a population of 626,000, it collapsed like that poor in the Oval Office last week.
Democratic socialism looks fantastic in the profile pics. Sweeping promises and romantic vibes. Until you arrive and realize the apartment doesn't have heat. That's exactly what happened when Vermont's single-payer dream collided with basic math. Bernie's national version may sound noble, but pretending the utilities bill doesn't exist is policy catfishing, even if the pitch is sincere. And while Bernie, AOC, and Mandani proudly wear the Democratic Socialist label, voters reward the practical middle ground rooted in funding plans, footnotes, and ideas that survive contact with reality.
Bernie, AOC, Mandani are not Democrats. They'll be the first to tell you that. They're Democratic Socialists, and that's a very different thing, and I don't think people know that yet. I don't think people realize we already have a lot of socialism.
Bernie, AOC, and Zoran Mandani can embrace the Democratic Socialist brand, but swing voters, already juggling plenty of government, still choose stability over ideological rebranding. Pitch a revolution instead of a reasonable adjustment, and you're giving people a personality quiz they never signed up for, especially when they're exhausted by both MAGA chaos and left-wing grocery store theatrics. Call yourself whatever you want. Elections are still won by sounding practical, not performative. And the moment voters sense you're selling a lifestyle instead of a policy, they shut down. Swing districts don't reward ideological cosplay. They reward candidates who speak to real problems, not political fantasies.
You think you're going to win an election on that? This just seems like more extremism at a time when Americans are begging both parties, please, could just one of you act normal? It's either defund the police or military in the streets. Either MAGA's crypto crony capitalism or city-run grocery stores. No, I don't want that. I want a Democrat who reassures me if you like your Whole Foods, you can keep your Whole Foods.
Radical swings at either extreme make great punchlines but terrible governance. And telling suburban voters their choices are armed patrols or city-run grocery stores is the fastest way to lose them. People want competence and normalcy, not a branded revolution or a MAGA rerun. And when Mandani and the far left offer lifestyle statements instead of workable policy, moderates check out. If your message can't reassure voters they'll keep their Whole Foods, their paycheck, and their basic stability, you've already lost the room. Because at the end of the day, voters crave predictability, not performance art. And the side that delivers calm, not chaos, is the side that walks away with the win.
You know, Chuck Schumer ain't perfect, but at least he doesn't crumple into a heap when confronted with Chanel No. 5.
Bill Maher's critique hits because it strips away the fantasy and exposes how figures like Zoran Mani push ideological theater instead of the centrist competence that actually wins Trump districts. Again and again, it's moderates, not rooftop revolutionaries, who deliver results because voters choose stability over purity tests. From economic reality to cautionary stories like Venezuela, the pattern never changes. Democratic socialist promises crumble on contact with budgets, institutions, or basic expectations like safety and a functioning grocery store. The woke progressive wing can craft beautiful rhetoric, but real voters want steady hands, not utopian catfishing. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next.